What if I could show you a means of prospecting that was more successful than email and social media combined if you're willing to work it? And it has the added bonus of enhancing the services you already have. Got your attention? Watch this. We're going to talk about sideways prospecting and we're going to talk about reverse prospecting, or really there's another name for it. What are we talking about when we talk about sideways prospecting? Okay. So you're a digital marketer, you're a agency owner, perhaps you're a freelancer, perhaps maybe you're all three. I don't know. Some people really think they're all three. That's been me at times. But you have strengths, right? And things that you do well. I know. I hear you out there. Everybody does everything that's possibly needed in digital marketing, and they're an absolute pro at it to your customers. BS. You don't, and I don't, and nobody else does. However, we do have things that we're good at. We do have things that we enjoy. We do have things that are that we really thrive on doing. We would rather do those to help a client. I mean, we love seeing a client succeed, okay, or we love seeing a problem solved. Maybe that's our motivation. But we have certain things that we're coming from a place of that we're really good at, okay, and those are those are things that, like, for example, mine is go high level, and mine is also because I've done some very, very deep dives into go high level. And do I know it absolutely 100% as good as the founders and as good as the high level people who run go high level, the company? No, I don't. But I'm about 90% there. I start running into issues with the APIs and things like that I'm not as good as I would like to be at it. And there's other things too. Can I design a website? Yes, but I bring in people who can do it better. So, and that kind of is to my point here. So there's things that I am weak at, that I'm not as good at. I've done SEO, I'm not good at it. That's a truly unique gift to do SEO well. Same with the ads. Can I do the ads? Yes, I can do the ads. I know how they work. I know how to get them there. But I also know people who are much better at getting those results. So, just like me, you're a marketer with strengths, and you're a marketer with weaknesses, and you are a marketer with a circle of influence. Okay? There are people, and if you're not doing this, you should be doing this, where you are networking with other individuals who are doing marketing. You're not there to sell them, you're there to connect with them. You are there to make those inroads. Maybe you sacrifice a little bit, maybe you don't, to really get that going. And so then you are working with getting to know those people just like you would in any other job. It's expand your network. Please don't do what I've done for the past 15 years. Okay. I did not expand my network like I should have. I did not spend my time developing those contacts and diving into those industries, honestly, until I got into marketing. Before that, I really didn't do a good job of it. Okay. So don't be me. Do those things, really work to expand that network. You're not there to pitch somebody. You're there to make that connection, and you're there to be just a little bit vulnerable about the things that you're good at and the things that you're not so good at. So you have that circle of influence you build up. Now here's where the magic happens. Okay. You have skills. Your friends that you just networked with who are also digital marketers have certain skills. If you do it right, and if you're paying attention, they complement each other. And so maybe, just maybe, you can find somebody who has strengths that you don't, or maybe has a client niche they're trying to serve, but they need help with something that you're good at, or vice versa. You've got a client niche you're trying to serve, and then you have to go out and figure out how to do some of these things that you're not good at. Well, what if you pulled along somebody from your circle of influence as a fellow marketer, and you guys did a collaboration to solve a problem? It solves a problem for one or both of you, and it gets you exposure, and it gets you noticed, and maybe it gets you into a niche that you weren't, and a group of people that you weren't planning on, but you're there and you're making inroads, and it's good. You may very well discover that you enjoy that group more than you thought you would, because that wasn't really the place you wanted to start. And it's not always a niche. Maybe you back out a little bit. Maybe it's a broader group of people. But through the leveraging the power of your friend and your connection you just made, and you spent time nurturing and putting that together and seeing how it works, you then have exposure to areas that you wouldn't already. And I know there's one person out there watching this who we just had that discussion. So there you go, bud. So yeah, this is a learning thing. This is a connecting thing. This is working out the differences, because there will be. It's trying to put those things together, but it's very, very worth doing. It's not the partnerships your business school warned you about. Okay, they tell you don't do partnerships. They really do. But collaborations are a totally different animal. They have outs for everybody, but don't plan on using them. Don't be looking to use them. So that is sideways prospecting. If you take some time doing that, I hate to give away all my secrets, because that's a lot of what I do, guys. I'm here to tell you, and I'm having success with it. But that is something that you can, if you'll take the time to do it and do it well, it doesn't completely mitigate your need to look in the niches that you're looking for, or to look at the overall look for the types of clients that you're looking for. But it sure makes it easier, because then you can go with confidence, knowing that you can offer services that you couldn't offer before, because you can pull somebody alongside that you have come to trust that can handle those for you. And you know what? If it doesn't work out, or it nears the end of its relationship, then you two part ways mutually, and hopefully, comfortably, without anybody, any issues or any problems there. And you find other people to connect with, and you'll change those around, and then you'll connect them together. And it's amazing what can happen. So sideways prospecting rocks. I'm here to tell you, it absolutely rocks. It's wonderful. So then you get the benefits of having services you don't normally offer, and they get the same. They get those benefits, and you can share. So there's so many reasons to do it. So it's, if you don't take anything away from working in marketing, because this is unusual. This doesn't happen in every business section out there. It really does. You don't see electricians partnering up always. You don't see lawyers partnering up, especially not partnering up always. Sometimes they do, but then that's without, business contractual agreements and things like that. Marketers aren't that stressed about it. Have some outs, have some ways also that, make sure both people are covered, and it'll happen, and it'll probably give you more business than you possibly planned on. So that's a good problem to have, right? That's sideways prospecting. Okay. So let's talk about reverse prospecting, or actually a better name for it would be vertical prospecting. But you know what? Reverse just sounded cool. So I wanted to add it in there, and I thought about it later. It's like, vertical really makes a lot more sense. Okay. This has to do with supply chain. Look at your supply chain of the way things happen, and look up and down that supply chain and say, where are there opportunities here to connect with somebody that can help me? Okay. And I'll give you two good examples, right? So let's say you're working with electricians. Okay. Or you're working with, that's probably a pretty good one. Home services people of any kind, electricians, roofers, plumbers, whatever, countertop people. And you are, looking to get them customers. Okay. So there are all the usual ways that we know how to do this. We make sure their online presence is good. We make sure they're getting good reviews. They're getting good referrals from people, and they know those are out there. They're sending out occasional messages to their current their clients, because they're done. I mean, they're still clients because you did work for them. And the prospects going, hey, do you know of any business? Can you refer somebody my way? You're doing all those good things. Now, if you start then looking at, okay, the people that you're working in a house, chances are there's a general contractor, is there not? chances are there are plumbers and there are countertop people. Well, if you're a countertop person, and there are electricians and there are carpenters and there are people doing other things, drywall people. They're working in that building or that house too, correct? Well, maybe they know someone who or a situation that needs a countertop person. Would that make sense? Would that make sense to do? Would that make sense to talk to them to explore those things? Would that make, if they're your client, would that make sense for them for you to coach them to start doing that outreach with them? Because I mean, that becomes part of this, who's in the sales process, who's in the vertical. So it starts being a vertical model that starts at the top with your great big general contractors. And then you start working your way down. And yeah, it's a bit of sideways sometimes too. Who comes before you? Who comes after you in the sales cycle? Who are those companies there? And can you work with them to bring each other business? Can you come alongside them to work? Think about the process by which business happens. Who is before you? Who is after you in that sales cycle? Who is before you? Who is after you if you're doing home services in that construction cycle? Who is before you or after you as a digital marketer who provides your software? And yes, Go High Level is a very obvious example of that, but that's not the example that I'm heading for. Okay. They're a great one. They pay a great commission. They have a cool affiliate program. They help you to get that affiliate program up and off the ground if you're willing to buy into it. So I mean, you can make there are people who make entire businesses out of the Go High Level affiliate program, or the SaaS program that they offer, and where you can set that up as you become a software provider and you're selling that software. Not everybody's heard of Go High Level. So that's out there as an opportunity for you. But let's also think about what is a good tool, say, for doing SEO. What is a good tool for setting up ads and making really, really good ads, or making really good videos, or something to do with AI? What's a good tool out there that does that? Now, does that have an affiliate program? So 2 examples I have there. One is the software I use to do, and I have before, and I will continue to use it to help with SEO, to help speed it along. It's called Citation Vault. They happen to be from very nearby me where I am in Texas, but it's a service that any place that Google works and is available, this works. And so they basically imagine having 300 short articles written about you in your local directories, in your local presence, and what that will get you. It's pretty impressive results for relatively little money. So if they have an affiliate program, which I actually don't think they do, but you can, maybe they do, maybe they have a little something for signing up people, but it's you can get that from them, and you can get started. And you can get a little money for sending business their way. And guess what? You're solving a problem too, and you're representing them. And then they're helping you to tap into areas maybe with other people that come across that maybe it's a tough example because they're probably employed with a bunch of digital marketers. But maybe there's a situation where you could get access to other types of clients that might need your marketing services. Perhaps a better example is one that I have come across. A gentleman has set up a software that's an estimating software and their first target is roofers. Okay. So they have a situation where they'll give them the dimensions of your roof. They kind of coach you through how to do that. And based on what, you get information, say you've got this, you're representing roofers and you're running this thing as a marketer. You get details from your roofing client as to how they would spec something like that out. What's the cost per square foot, that sort of thing. Whenever these people put that in order to get that estimate, they have to give up their name, address, and phone number, which comes right to you. Well, guess what? These guys have an affiliate program. They have a situation where anybody I send to them to sign up the service, they give me a little something for doing it. But also the reverse can be true. Maybe they come across roofers over here who, as we develop, and we have to develop that relationship, we come across roofers that they say, you know what, we really can use some marketing help over here in addition to this estimating business. You know, Mr. Software Developer, do you know a good, person who can help me get some customers here? Do you, so I can use this estimating tool? Well, yes, as a matter of fact, they do. I know one right over here. And they hand walk them over to you and hand them to you and say, here, this person really, this business really needs some help. They're already using our service, so they're familiar with the estimating and what that looks like. But they also need help getting those customers and closing those deals, closing those sales. So that's how vertical marketing works. It's your top down and down to up. It's looking who's before you and looking who is after you. Okay? So I hope those are two things you might not have thought about when you're doing your prospecting. When you're out there looking for what you do. What are the people, the marketers in this case, that are sideways of you? And how can they help you to get more customers with people you don't normally serve or in services you don't normally offer? And then in a vertical sense, for you, or probably better for your coaches or for your clients, who comes before you, who comes after you in the sales chain? Who's somebody you can connect up with and foster a relationship with that can help bring you more customers in ways that you couldn't do because you don't have access to those people, but they do, or vice versa. If you have places where you can share people who have needs and you connect up with somebody who can provide those needs, you can give each other clients. That's wonderful. That's a great way to get that business back and forth and take care of each other.